He's a blitz crank. I should have moved Meepsy over. Fuck, that could be the diff, man. That actually could be the diff, is not moving Meepsy to block Blitzcrank. My Juju's barely casting. I think I might actually be third man. I'm sorry to the love watchers. I'm 8. No! Alright, second place. Yeah, fuck the hate watchers. This guy, if he wasn't blocked, this guy would be messaging me right now.
Yo, what is good? We back at it. It's clockwork. You know, we on that grind. I want to show you guys this game. I'm in a shitter lobby. These players are so fucking bad. I just want to show you what happens when the GOAT of TFT plays against GM players, master players. These people that just have no fucking shame. I'm honestly giving him clout by doing this, but John, if you're watching this video, just give it up, bro. He's pushing 40, man, and he's playing this bad. You know, when I VOD review Grandmaster players and Master players, I can blatantly see their mistakes. Blatantly. Like, you're lucky to top 4 if you play this way. They are just so bad at the game, but their ego just doesn't allow them to improve. And you know, the better I get at this game, the more I realize that I don't know. I don't know if it actually is the best play, you know? Because before, when I was struggling on ladder, I was like, oh yeah, this has to be the right play, but it's not. The better you get at this game, the more you really realize that you don't know shit. So I just want to keep make sure when you're watching these videos, just keep an open mind. And just really try to soak up everything that you can. Bodyguard training, my spot is insane. You know, this I have a Meepsy 2. Usually with the Meepsy 2, I'm gonna be real, this unit is probably one of the worst tanks in the entire game. But luckily, because I have Voyager, I honestly didn't think I was gonna win this. Because I was level 3 and this guy's level 4. This guy has Lysandra and Vagar 2. So honestly, I was surprised that I win this, but I have to remember I took combat with bodyguard armor, and I have a Meepsy 2, which is still really strong early game. The problem with this unit is that it's a shit unit, but you have to play it. It's that type of deal because the traits are just way too good. Being a 3 trait 2 cost that's Meeple Voyager is just way too good. It's just in Shepherd, that's just way too good. It's just, you're playing it just because it's a Shepherd and a Voyager. I mean, this thing could be 1 HP, you would still play it. So, yeah. The traits are way too good. It doesn't really matter in the early game. I think in terms of raw stats, you know, in terms of tankiness, like a Gragas 2 would be so much tankier with no traits than just a random Meepsy 2. That's just the general gist of things. This meta is not balanced. Okay, the current state of the meta is not balanced at all. We are in a meta right now where you can just hard force a Kali 1, and you will be able to pretty much top 4 every single game. If you just hard force, it doesn't matter what your spot is. It doesn't matter if you start with a Raw, you just sell your entire board, and then you play for 5 loss into 3-2 into hitting a Kali 2. You immediately hard stabilize. You can literally, you're at a point where you can literally force it every single game if you wanted to, and it would actually most of the time be the right play. It's just that disgusting. It's just that disgusting. Like, if you get a spat, you would want to play 5 Nova instead of, you know, Space Groove or things like that, because you get an immediately spike on 6 and you don't have to play Kindred and you just get 5 Nova immediately. So it's very strong. You know, I will be taking over the entire scene and just got to make sure to be consistent each and every single day. You know, be grateful for the time you have. Man, God has blessed me so much. And I'm starting to see life from a different perspective. You know, I'm starting to see that I should appreciate everything that's going on, good and bad, because, you know, that just makes me a stronger person. And I think this video is just, I'm gonna start changing things up. You know, I did a lot of hateful content towards certain individuals, and although I don't regret it, it wouldn't be my first line of choice. Like, I just my content is just like flaming other people. No, sometimes it's deserved, but I think I'm overdoing it a little bit too much. I need to chill back a little bit. I think what is important is I stay focused and I assert my dominance on this whole scene, because literally I'm up against a bunch of fucking chuds, man. I'm telling you, my general rule of thumb for playing TFT is I have to go for a walk or I have to exercise before I play. And that should be a staple. That should be a fucking staple. I'm looking at Sasuke. I'm looking at, you know, a bunch of other people. Bro, Sasuke used to look normal, bro.
You would say my client is a good player, yes?
No, he's not. He's very bad.
But he got third at Worlds.
No, we all know that Milk only made it to Worlds at all because he hyruled out of his mind, and then Bebe can't even make it to Worlds at all, so we just pivot to casting. Like, honestly, if this game was balanced, I would be the best player. Like, I would win every
enough.
Now he's just... I don't know what the fuck happened. As if that's what playing TFT does to you, man, I don't think I want to play TFT no more. But yeah, bro, he damn, he been eating good. That's all I'm trying to say. But this lobby, again, complete shitters. I know most of you guys are this rank or below, so I'm not saying this to be mean, but there is a huge skill gap. Like, a huge skill gap. I don't want to hear you guys complain, because that's not what we do. We don't make excuses over here. Hold the line, insane combo. Bodyguard training, hold the line. I'm angling towards LeBlanc. So, here's the thing. You would think I'm angling towards LeBlanc because I have a Rage Blade slammed. But in reality, I'm very open. You guys are going to see this is a crazy game. I played this perfectly. This is a crazy game. You would think I'm open to LeBlanc because you have Rage Blade slammed. You can't really play anything else with this. Vex is too far off. And you would rather not play Vex. Just got to keep your options open. But yeah. I'm already on the top of the world, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm in the peak physique of my entire life, and you know, we're gonna take over the entire TFT scene, man. I know I'm the greatest to ever do it. You know, I know I am. Like, these people, I can just see the future. I can see through things. If these people are my competition, it's over for them. You think I'm gonna let 120 pounds wigwug beat my ass IRL? Like, these are the people I'm playing against. These are their fucking sticks, or they're fucking 300 pounds, 25% BMI. Like, come on, man. Let's not. Oh, and I leveled to lose. That was a really terrible loss. So the thing is, that was my one mistake. This game was me not scouting. The only two people I was scouting for was the people at the top, first place and second place. First place and second place because, again, they're first place to second place. I didn't scout the guy that rolled down on 6 and hit his entire board and turbo spiked. So that was my fault. Usually, general rule of thumb, this will not happen in most of your games. But usually you should just position for the top 2 people or top 3. Hitting a Jhin here. Now, I was kind of contemplating, maybe Jhin is stronger than Rost. But considering I have 6 traits in, I'm not even sure that it is. I'm going to be real. I was thinking about it. I was trying to play strongest board, but I just don't believe... Oh, this is perfect positioning. I want to go over this just super quick. The reason why I put my Victor in the middle is for this exact reason. You see how I positioned perfectly? If you go back and watch the fight, that was just perfect positioning. I put my Lissandra on the left corner to bait out the Pyke, and I put my Victor in the middle with all frontline, and this guarantees that my Victor is the last person to die with how Pyke works. So if you guys ever struggle with Pyke, this is a really good point. You guys should really try this positioning out. Now, this is why I think Pyke is such a shit unit the higher you go, because you're not able to abuse him, because better players like me will know how to position, and you will never get the advantage. So you're basically, unless it's like a Pyke 3, but even if it's a Pyke 3, if that unit is just splashing tanks, it's no stronger than a 2-star 2 cost. And that's what I'm saying. It's just, my augments are way too good. And over here I get the tower. Now the tower, the synergy is insane. This is probably the most informative game I've ever played, but the synergy is insane. The tower gets buffed from hold the line, and it also benefits from bodyguard training. So I basically have like an item and a half on this thing right here. Over here, I level to 8, I hit Bard, and I immediately stop rolling here. Oh, this is super important that you guys notice what I did. Because of 90 HP, there's no reason for me to win every single round. And I actually beat Zaya too. This is how strong my board is because of the augments that I have. Even though my board is basically a pile of shit, it's so strong because of the augments that I have. I have Bard 1, you know, Victor 1, Lissandra 1. And this is what you do. Like, you change your plan. You hit a Bard on your roll down, 0 LeBlancs. Just say, hey, fuck it. I'm going to play Fast 9. And you are able to play Fast 9 because of your HP, your 90 HP. So this basically ensures that you can lose the remainder of stage 4 and even some on stage 5, and you're able to comfortably cruise to a Fast 9. Most people here would not take low health quest, but it just makes perfect sense because I'm actually planning to get low HP here. Planning to get low HP for this fight, for this game makes sense because you're able to spike immediately and you get ASOL, which you can also pick the 3-turn one, and it gives you 22 gold and an item anvil. A full item. That being combined with low health quest, it's an extra 40 gold, and this rewards you for sacking. This is why our early game is so important. This is why me winning those rounds of streaking is so important. Because of the HP I saved, I'm allowed to greed, and I'm allowed to save all my gold for level 9 and play for the turbo spike. If I didn't do that, if I was just like a master player and I was rolling down every single turn for my LeBlanc, oh I need to hit LeBlanc 2, I need to hit LeBlanc 2, this game would not have turned out. Because I make a decision on 4-1 to play for absolute max cap. Absolute max cap. Like the strongest board you could possibly ever imagine. And most people would just not do that because they don't have the hindsight. I think a lot of master, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say a very small majority of, you know, people in GN, people in Masters, even people in Diamond, a very small majority know how to play early game, know how to play mid game, but when it gets to late game, that's when they really struggle because their whole plan falls apart. Most people, when they go through the games like this, they think, level 8, I need to roll down all my gold, I need to roll down all my gold. But that's just not true depending on your position. That's not true for every single game. It's too hard to generalize. Like for this game in particular, because I'm 90 HP, I'm allowed to greed. If I was like 40 HP, then I have to roll down every single turn to spike my board. But since I'm 90 HP, I'm able to play the most greedy board you can possibly imagine, sack stage 4, stage 5, and still be fine. And my Bard is actually doing insane work. Not only is it top DPS, but it's farming me units, which is free gold at the same time. Over here, I think another mistake that I made actually was selling my Teemo. And here I could have got 5 Shepherd and spiked my board. I could sell Victor, I can sell Pike, and I could just play 5 Shepherd from here. But this is totally okay too, because my in board is not going to be 5 Shepherd. It's just going to be Fast 9, level 9, you know, with Bard 2, Blitz 2, 4 Vanguards, and Sona carry. On the end board, because Morgana is such a good unit, you guys saw on my roll down, I hit 0 Morganas. I have 0 Morganas so far. This is why I'm so incentivized not to roll. I'm not unpaired. I didn't find a single LeBlanc until way later into the game. I'm thinking Vex here, but to be honest, this Vex unit doesn't really do shit. I would rather just have my Bard carry my items. It's going to be way stronger. Because this Vex unit is good if she's your main carry, but I don't have enough items to go around. And just because you hit, and like my Wealth Quest and my ASOL Quest procced, just because you hit a Rage Blade does not mean that you're committed to Vex. Because making this Rage Blade was a mistake, or it was a quote-unquote mistake. But you have to adapt. You have to slam suboptimal items. You just have to do it to win earlier stages of the game. And this game was a mistake because I could have made like a Rabadon's or something instead of a Rage Blade, and built Shred and not build Spark. Now I had to build Spark for early game. 1 life, so I'm in 6th place right now. But because I hit my Bard, because I hit Morgana 2, my board just got 10 times stronger. Like, it's not even close. I hit Nunu 2. I knew from this point going forward, once I hit my board, and this required me to save every single goal. This required me to play perfectly throughout the entire game. I've actually messed up by leveling to 7 earlier and losing a bunch of econ because I thought I could keep my streak. But that's fine. You make mistakes and then you adapt. Because I was so healthy, because I was on such a huge streak, that I'm still able to greed. I'm still able to greed to 9. And now that I hit my board, the game, even though I'm on 1 life, the game is looking really good. And I hit Sona 2. You just take Rabadons for more damage. And second tank item for Nunu on the Sona mod. Now for positioning, you just want to make sure most of the time you want to be on the right side. That's against Yi. But it just really depends on the matchup. Like for this matchup, I'll actually be on left side. But because there's a Yi player, especially if there's a melee, if you're against a melee comp, you want to be on the same side as the Yi is on. You want to kill the Yi immediately. And that's typically how it works. I honestly gave him too much credit. I thought that he was going to swap to the other side because I faked swap my Morgana. So this is fine too. This is actually really close. I actually don't know if it's fine. It's really close. Oh my goodness. This really could have cost me the game. And this is where itemization comes into play. If there was second Rabadons on Bard, if there was, you know, another Jewel Gauntlet or a Void Staff, this fight would be a lot closer. But just the fact that he almost beat me when I have Hold the Line Bodyguard training on 9 is just insane. I mean, that's just... I don't know how insane his augment or how insane his comp is, because Yi is typically not a really strong comp unless you get an insane setup. But just the fact that he almost won is crazy. There's also another argument here that you can move Blitzcrank into the back, but I'm just thinking I want to get maximum value from Hold the Line. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if it's right to sack my Hold the Line value to buff the Blitz. And I'm not going to frontline the tower because it's actually doing a lot of backline. And over here, he loses to my clone once I hit Blitz 2 and the game is over. You know, I definitely made mistakes this game. Did not play perfectly at all. Right? There's very few key mistakes that I made. But it's about making mistakes and bouncing back and playing to your win condition. And that's what this video is about. Again, I just want to say, if you are watching a guide and they are GM, if they are masters, they are just as good as you. Do not listen to them. These people are fucking clowns. People like Sub-Zero Arc, people like this person that I just faced, absolute clowns. The thing is, Wajan Iverson, Dish Soap, these pro players, I don't see them making guides, like basic generic guides for TFT. I feel like the game is way too complicated to be cookie cutter like that. Because if you look at these shitty ass players that are masters, that are GM 300 LP, and the guides that they make, it's a very good generic guide for new players, right? But they themselves are shit at the game. I guess if you're brand new, I wouldn't even consider doing that to begin with. I would just say, watch someone like me, which I don't know if you can find someone like me that breaks down their gameplay, that breaks down their thought process, and improve upon that. Because every game is different. A large majority of the meta is going to be warped by augments. It's going to be warped by a meta-defining comp. A lot of being good at the game is just augment selection and stats and knowing which items to slam. I'm not going to lie. That's just a large portion of the game. This game is an information game. So you have to be prepared to learn. You have to be prepared to put in the time and learn which augments are the best, what line you're playing towards. Because some augments, a lot of patches are so egregious that if you're allowed to force one comp, you can just take the best econ augment in the game and you can just sell your entire board, play 5 loss, and then spike on 3-2 and win the game. There are metas like that. You know, when a 2-cost is extremely dominant, for example, Akali, right? Or if you want to go back to Syndra, or if you want to go back to multicasters, I'm just naming out older sets. But if you are in a meta like that, and this is what I'm saying, this is the evolution of the game. If it's a balanced meta, which this meta is definitely not, it's completely different than if it's an unbalanced meta. So if someone can be challenger in one meta and hard stuck 0 LP in another meta because they just hard force one comp, and when that comp gets nerfed or the meta changes and they have to rely on their fundamentals, they can't climb. I mean, some people are just shameless dogs. Like, some people are just shameless dogs. They'll play whatever to climb. And other people like me, I hate playing that way. I just focus more on the fundamentals and being able to win through good positioning, win through good augment selection, playing for highest cap like I did this game. I know this is a longer video. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is an absolute masterclass. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.